Hello and welcome to the Literary Lair. So I was told that according to Internet Reviewer Law 17.5, Section 4, Subsection 6, and I quote, "A reviewer cannot abort a review halfway through because of frustration unless it is a Let's Play." And with that, I declare this a Let's Play. So I'm out. Peace! I am told I cannot do that either. So let's pick up where we left off after the theme song. Right. Picard and company are in the brig, and the ship is being run by idiots. Katahata is pissed off because Spock locked the controls, and pointy-eared bitch tries to counsel her. Katahata is having doubts of what she did to Picard, which she should, because what she did was stupid. And we get another funny scene. Oh my god! This is one where Worf asks Spock if there's a counter to the Vulcan nerve pinch, to which Spock replies, "Do not allow a Vulcan to put their hand on your shoulder." Katahata and the pointy-eared bitch show up, and they say that they want to let Picard and company out. However, it's on the condition that they defer to Katahata, which again is stupid. Picard refuses, and Katahata goes back to the brig where Lair bends on his anger that Spock locked them out. They decide to use a bluff on Picard and go to the brig. They release Geordi, Seven, and Spock and let them go to the Doomsday Machine. Spock ends up piloting the shuttlecraft while Geordi and Seven go over Project Endgame, the Hue virus. Seven figures that all they have to do is reconfigure the entire Borg consciousness. They get there and Spock is amazed, because he's never seen the inside of a planet killer before. After all, he isn't Commodore Decker, who got off better than me because he got to die 100 years before this book took place. They figure someone needs to pilot it, and Seven volunteers to do it, because she's used to being controlled by alien technology. Spock wants to mind meld with it, but Seven tells him that by Borg standards, he's an amateur. Seven grabs the column where the pilot is contained, and Seven doesn't get anything done. And Spock muses that it's time for a colorful metaphor.
Spock?
Yes?
About those colorful metaphors that we've discussed, I don't think you should try using them anymore.
Why not?
Well, for one thing, you haven't quite got the knack of it.
The Enterprise is intercepted by two Borg-converted starships, and Katahata decides that she has to release Picard and get him onto the brig. Because as we all know, the captain of the series is always supposed to be captain of the Enterprise, despite not being captain of the ship at the time. On the way up, Picard and Worf run into pointy-eared bitch. Picard tells her to break her lifelong habit and keep her opinions to herself.
Burn!
They get to the bridge, and Picard takes charge, and the fight begins. Meanwhile, Seven gets absorbed into the pilot's seat of the planet killer. Picard's at a loss on how to defeat the Borg, and Katahata finally tells Lair Benzon to shut the fuck up. Then the planet killer starts to massacre Borg ships. Seven finally has control over it.
Yes!
Janeway of Borg, however, prepares for the arrival of the planet killer. Seven's communicating to Picard by means of holographic projection, which she also uses to talk to Geordi and Spock. While the planet killer tows the Enterprise to Earth, Picard turns on the shipwide intercom to chew out the mutineers. He gives one of his famous Picard speeches, and everyone agrees to make Picard captain again. Okay, almost everyone. Take a friggin' guess who doesn't agree with it. No, seriously, I will give you time to guess. Right now, take your best guess. Got it? Okay, it was pointy-eared bitch. Who the hell else? Picard does the smart thing and confines her to quarters. I would have just thrown her on the brig, or better yet, beamed her out into space. Seven lets the Enterprise out of the tractor beam and warns Picard that if the Starfleet ships fire on them, she will destroy them. Picard calls Mackenzie Calhoun and becomes leader of the fleet, with a promotion to Commodore. Not sure why he needed that, but okay. Pointy-eared bitch pictures the Worf, and we see Grim Virgo again, in the middle of a crossfire.
Crossfire!
Janeway and Borg then decides that since Picard and Seven are coming, she'll eat Earth. No! Hide the coffee! Picard wants Seven to try and save Janeway, but Seven says that they have to assume that she's already dead. Seven is making the cube eat itself to survive because she just keeps blowing it apart. But then the cube goes to absorb the planet killer. Seven forces Geordi and Spock to leave the planet killer, but Geordi doesn't want to lose Seven, but she forces him to leave. Picard realizes that he doomed Earth by bringing the planet killer there, but Kadohana says that he did the right thing. Finally, some competency in this book. Took them long enough. Seven searches in the collective for Janeway and releases Janeway's consciousness so that she can open the firewall to let the virus through and destroy the Borg. The cube starts to twist and turn like a Rubik's Cube and is destroyed, along with Janeway and apparently Seven. Seven starts to fly toward the sun, but she's saved by Grim Vargo at the last second.
Yes!
They hold a memorial service for Janeway, and they mention that the crew of Voyager was there, including a man with tattoos on his face, trying to keep his composure. Really, Peter David? You couldn't just say that Chakotay was there. We know it's him. Adding one extra word wouldn't have hurt. Spock gets Jellicoe to drop all charges against Picard, and Pointy-Eared Bitch says that she wants to transfer up the Enterprise, but Jellicoe refuses because someone needs to keep Picard in check. Seriously? Fuck Jellicoe. Picard and Calhoun talk about various things, including Stevens, who Calhoun has never heard of before. So who was he? I'm sure you already guessed it. It was Lady Q. She was also in the form of Perrin's Argelian friend from the beginning. She then appears in front of Janeway and takes her to the afterlife. Oh, and the Borg aren't gone forever. But why would they? So that was before Dishonor. And boy, did it suck. The book was terrible, the story was insipid, the plot twist stunk, and overall, it was worse than backwards. Let me tell you a story. I became a fan of Star Trek right before the 2009 movie came out. However, I've always been a bigger Next Generation fan, and I love the characters, and despite some of them being completely insufferable, like Pulaski and Troy at some points, I didn't hate them. Not like I hate Talana. I hate her. I really hate her. She's the worst Star Trek character ever created. Yeah, she's worse than Neelix. And this book, it fell into what Backwards did, referencing episodes of the show that just make me want to go watch the episodes instead. And all in all, this book takes the awards for the worst book I've reviewed on this show so far. Next week, I'll do something a little different, but it sure as hell won't be as bad as this. believe that they cancelled my show. TV executives have no idea what good television is anymore. The hell? Oh, it's you. Took you damn long enough. Let's get out of here before anyone sees.